好，我哋多 open 嘅第一站係舊嘅 City Hall，咁我哋就睇下佢哋點樣開會嘅，扮下係一個市議員，然之後咧拉布、爆抽、掟蕉皮、掟屎猛。
This part is there today, but they made.
Oh yeah, they don't have this
Yeah,
anymore.
these are gone. This is the old City Hall. If you go in on the second floor at the Market Gallery, you can see the mayor's chair still there for the mayor sat in. So this is City Hall number 2. This is City Hall number 3.
Okay.
And this is what they were going to do. They were going to have this great big square in front. Can you see where Queen Street is? Right back here.
Oh, yeah.
Richmond.
Right.
Oh, but they don't have this anymore.
And Queen Victoria was going to be really big. Never came. I guess they ran out of money. This is the temple building that used to be over on the west side. They tore this down, but pieces of it, you can still see it at the park out in Scarborough, Guild Park. Guildwood, that park out there, they got parts of that building. Anyway, so this didn't get built, the big square. You had vaudeville houses in here, but that's City Hall 3. This is built in what they call the Richardson Romanesque style. There was an architect called Henry Hobson Richardson, and he liked the buildings in North Italy, which were rough-cut stone, like the outside, it's all kind of rough, and they had foliate carving, you know, leaves and vines, and what they call grotesques, which are faces that are all blue. And you can see some little ones up in the Capitol here. That one looks kind of happy though. But anyway, some of them they're what we call a grotesque. So here's one with a tongue sticking out, and here and here. So these are grotesque. Now the other style for Romanesque is the half arch. So a half a circle is a Roman arch. So there's a Roman arch, Roman arch, Roman arch, 3 Roman arches, and they got short pillars underneath, small ones. So this is very typical of that type of building. And it was he won the competition, E.J. Lennox did, to build this, and finally got started in 1889. After about 4 or 5 years of back and forth negotiation. I want more money. You can't have more money. I need more money. The amount of money he gave me won't pay for the basement, and so on. So eventually, in 1889, he was able to start. It took him 10 years to build this building, and the city council was annoyed because he kept coming back saying, "People aren't doing the job right. It's shoddy work. I want better people. I need more money," and so on. And 10 years later, the city was so fed up with E.J. Lennox that when he asked, I built this beautiful, great building for the city, which serves 2 purposes. The city offices and administration over on the east side of the building, and the courthouse on the west side. So we've got a municipal building which serves the city over there and the justice system over here. And the city said, well, I don't care. You're not to put your name on this building. So what did E.J. Lennox do? He told his stonemasons, look, up at the top there where they've got these little outside, not inside, where they got these little bumpy things around the edge of the building, every so often you put a letter in. So outside of the building you can find an E, J, L, E, and OX is just outside over here. And then on that side it says architect. And on the back side it says 1880, 1889. And on the front he says, put my picture. So this is E.J. Lennox. And it's just outside the door in the middle. When you go out you can see E.J. Lennox. So here's that. And here are the places where he put his name. There's an L, there's an E. for Lenox. So that's how he got back to the
all over
city,
the place.
in there. The interior is done. You've got murals on that side and on this side. And you've got, what does it say? At the top there it says, we remember you. Hail to the pioneers, their names and deeds remembered and forgotten, we honor here.
So this is what it says across the top.
And then you've got fame, fortune, adventure up there. And these were painted by a person who was in charge of the Ontario College of Art, Reed. And on this side here, he's showing you the laying out of survey lines.
量嗰個準繩啊。
So this is the way in which you surveyed Toronto. Toronto had a baseline, if you want to think of it. There was a survey line that went across the city, which we call Queen Street today. It started where Victoria Park hits Lake Ontario. And at that corner, they turned and they put a survey line right across the city, and it was called Lot Street because it separated lots of land from each other. Then we changed it to Queen Street. So this is the main survey line. Then they would go 100 chains, which is a survey measure, north and do another line parallel. So 100 chains is 1.25 miles, about 2 kilometers, and that line is Bloor. And then they went another 1.25 miles, and that is St. Clair. And another 1.25 miles, and that's Eglinton. So all of those streets are the survey ones, all parallel to Queen. And then at right angles, they surveyed smaller lots. So north of Queen, they surveyed lots that were 100 acres each. And they were little skinny ones that went from Queen all the way up to Bloor. And one person could have that. So he got 100 acres, all the land between Queen Street and Bloor, to build a house, have a farm, raise animals, food, live. And that was given to the good friends of Lieutenant Governor Simcoe. North of Bloor, they had what they call farm lots, and they were bigger. And they were 200 acres. And they went all the way up the rest. Ran out of York Township. But this is how they do the survey. So there's the point.
你睇下以前都係做 survey 咯，全部都仲係樹嚟㗎，嗰隻森林嚟嘅。
Down up there is one of the French explorers that took over southwestern Ontario for the French way back in the 1600s. Simcoe, of course, is Lieutenant Governor Simcoe, mayor here. Tecumseh is the Indian chief that worked with the British in the War of Rebellion in 1812. And Brock, of course, famous general, got killed at the Battle of Queenston Heights. And then you come around to Strawn, that's Bishop Strawn, famous for education and the Anglican Church. Laura Secord made chocolates. No. She warned the British about the Americans coming one way or another. Baldwin was a very important early administrator in Ontario, Upper Canada as it was called then. And Osgood was a famous lawyer, and Osgood Hall, just over here, which is open for doors open. Osgood. Anyway, down here you can see some of the trademarks of Lennox. He designed the pattern floor that you see. This is called testra, meaning a whole bunch of little chips put side by each. And the design was by Lennox. The creation of it was by a firm in Buffalo. And the marble chips came from Georgia in the U.S. So they were brought up, and you can see the handiwork here because these were all done with somebody with a chisel. And they would take a thin piece of marble and they would chisel it to make all these little pieces. So you can see that they're different shapes. And then they would put them together to make this pattern and cement them into a floor. So since the building was finished in 1890, So when they put this floor in, I'm not sure, but it's been here at least since 1898, and it's the same marble and the same floor as put in. So it's held up well, but it's called Tesla. And it's been used a long, long time. I mean, if you go to Pompeii, Herculaneum, they've got floors like this, only they're patterned differently. Anyway, so what they do is they take a big chunk of marble and they slice it into thin pieces. And then you can open it like a book to make this, and then you open that one to make that. So this is you have to be careful not to mix them up, otherwise you get a hodgepodge.
Oh yeah.
But this way it's very attractive to see the marble there. The columns are not marble. The columns are plaster. What is done is you put a steel brace or iron brace in the middle, concrete around it for fire, and then plaster on the outside to create this appearance. Now, in order to make it look sort of like marble, you can see there's little lines in it and color. What they do is you take a paper pattern, put it over there, and then you trace the lines to make it look like marble. And then you take a thin engraving tool and you make little cuts in there. So you engrave.
係啊，佢做到仿似雲石。
Make a little shadow cut. Then you take a mixture of gypsum, well, sort of plaster dust, and pigments, colored pigments, and wet it, and you smear it in that hollow that you created. And then you polish it down and you get this appearance.
Oh.
So it looks like marble, but it isn't real marble, it's plaster that's been worked on to make it that way. So it's got a special scagliola and technique. There's another way in which you can fake it, and that's to just paint it with a paintbrush. And if you paint it with a paintbrush, it's not called scagliola because you didn't do the engraving and the filling and all that extra work. It's called faux marble, F-A-U-X, meaning false marble.
Oh.
That way.